Good morning, blessings to you all. I thought I'd come live. A lot is actually happening at this time. I've been receiving some more downloads and information from my team. A lot of stuff is actually happening, coming to the forefront. It is very important at this time to remain grounded and focused. There's a lot of information that's coming through at this time, so bear with me. For those of you who have not seen the energy, a lot of the energy sometimes can come through with lines. You see, I'm just now here. Yeah, the lines have actually gone because I've just gone like that. So there's a lot of energy that's coming in. I'm going to be connecting with the corona, and I'm not talking about the actual virus itself, but the actual northern crown, because the corona is the northern crown, and I'm going to be speaking a lot about the metaphors and the run up to this event. From spiritual perspective, from the esoteric perspective, and from the perspective of spirit, because we have had a lot of signs. A lot of signs have been given to us, and I have certainly been sharing a lot through my messages, and certainly Horace has been coming through over the recent years, sharing information as well. And they come through gently to actually show us what's actually happening. So I'm going to speak a lot about the northern energy, the north, because it's about the star of the north. The corona is the northern crown, the star of the north, and so forth. So I'm also going to connect with Pyramid 9. Pyramid 9 is also the etheric pyramid that is situated just above the Arctic region. So I'm going to do a lot of connections, and I'm just going to bring things into play because there's an awful lot going on around the actual pandemic itself. But this is coming in from higher perspective and not from the space of 3D. So this is coming in purely from metaphors. So I'm going to start by focusing on the north. So last year we had Notre Dame and the fires of Notre Dame. Lady of the North. Lady of the North, if you look at geometria, you have Notre, N, meaning is 14 in geometria, and Dame is 4, which is 144. So basically, Notre Dame, 144, Lady of the North. We had the fires there, which is metaphoric in nature. There was a shift. This is north. Okay, so we had the fires. We also had 18,000 bees contained within 3 beehives. They were saved by the fires. 6,000 each. 666. We also have had the actual rooster that was on the peak of the tower came down, and it wasn't damaged. The rooster is the symbol of the sun, solar. We also have the crown of thorns, which is a relic inside the cathedral. That didn't get burnt in the fire. So there you have the crown of thorns. The thorns and the rose go hand in hand. So this is about the Christ energy. So now we're also going now to Corona. Corona is a constellation in the northern hemisphere. There are 8 stars within the Corona constellation. Note 8, infinite. Okay, cyclic and infinite, everything is part of that flow of cycle. So 8, as above, so below. There are 8 stars within the corona. I'm also going to also connect now, because right now at this moment in time, and over recent months and weeks, I have been fully aware of the star mothers working with the earth energy to shift, to heal, to align the earth energy. The star mothers and star seeds are part of the lineage of the star mothers. So what happens is they actually work with the energy and the grids of the earth, and making sure that the portals and the grids are fully adjusted and aligned. I'm fully working within that energy myself. I'm fully aware of this. So basically the star mothers and the lineages are at play. They made that agreement to make the change of the Earth planet. I had come through from council that the current status of the Earth, as with regards to the current pandemic, enabling the airplanes and the very little movement on the roads. So basically the emissions are affected the climate in a positive way. And when we are affecting the climate in a positive way, Mother Earth can actually heal. It can be sustained. So Mother Earth at the moment, we've been able to maintain a 6,000 year positive on the Earth's climate. So that has come through from council. So Corona is the Northern Crown. I'm fully aware that certain energies with regards to what's actually happening has been planned. We plan this. We're souls, we actually plan this. Pandemics actually occur as a cycle. This is not new to our Earth. The pandemics are not new to our Earth. They form part of the disease, but if you look at viro forms part of environment. So basically, if the environment is not being sustained, then it can create a disease. So we have to look after ourselves. We look after ourselves the best way we can. We look after the environment that's around us. We care about the environment. So there are things that come in from the spirit that's saying we need to look after the planet, we need to look after the earth, and sometimes the Earth Mother can react. So we kind of, as light workers, know that there is a wider plan for the Earth. And we know that we are not going to be pointing fingers. Everyone is pointing fingers at the moment. So this is why my team has given me that guidance to detach from sharing posts or getting involved with political fronts and political agendas and stuff like that, because that is not the path of the ascension, spiritual ascension. It is path of the soul lessons and evolution, but not path of the spiritual ascension. Okay, there's a define between the two. We have to learn lessons in order for our soul to grow. But if we want to evolve to a further point that we want to grasp the spiritual side, the spiritual ascension, then that is another avenue. So we then understand when we're going up to 5D and above, we become aware of the wider perspective of what's actually happening. So the corona the corona. First and foremost, as I connect with corona, what I would ask everyone to do, to put the healing energy out to the earth plane at this moment in time, to the souls that are experiencing the coronavirus, is to connect with the water and the fire codes, because the fire and water is what we are working with to sustain, to balance and to harmonize. These are the codes that we are working with at this time to sustain, balance and harmonize. So Lightworkers, Starseeds, Lightworkers have pure intentions to make a difference, and this is where I'm going to speak a little bit about the light work. So light work is about setting pure intentions, knowing the wider perspective. They will also know that we are not going to involve ourselves. That can be detriment to our own karmic plans and karmic accounts. So that we also here to share light in the darkness. So what do we define darkness? So everyone can have challenges within their lives. They can enter a dark state into their lives, or the dark night of the soul. We are there to shine the light and show them that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We are not here to pass judgment on other people and pass judgment on where people are at. We're not here to do that. So for light workers, I want to say you are a beautiful being of light, strong enough and bright enough to shine even in the darkest of places. Okay, so as light workers, we understand there is dark and light, and that within our lives and our challenges that we can go through dark times. So at the moment, you know, a lot of people are seeing that this current pandemic, we are going through dark times because there's a lot of illness and a lot of deaths, and you know, people are, you know, are at the face of uncertainty with their jobs, their livelihoods and so forth. We are not here to encourage darkness or to share things that can lead astray the wider masses. We are here to say, look, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We are going through this. We are now going to transcend this energy. We're going to transmute this energy, but we're not going to be feeding into this energy. So we are here as transmuters, and also to help the planet to transcend through the process. So this is what I want to say. And I said this on my previous live video. We have to be mindful of what we are sharing at this time, to try and detach ourselves from media streams, because a lot of media streams have got an awful lot of information and disinformation out there that we have to be mindful of at this time. I've seen a lot of light workers pass judgment on individuals. So individuals that are doing humanitarian efforts, putting a lot of money into humanitarian fields, supporting nations that are less fortunate, like Africa, helping people whom are, you know, in poverty. I have seen these people being attacked by new age political agendas. So I've seen that personally for myself. So my guidance is detach yourself from that, because, you know, yes, we're observing, we're watching, we're seeing what's going on. This is also creating another form of chaos. That is not really needed at this time. This is not light work. Light work is about us being out in society, being the doers, helping the vulnerable, helping, to heal the planet, to heal humanity. Healing comes in a variety of ways. It comes by being a doctor, by being a nurse, veterinarian, carer, helping the vulnerable, being the listening ear. If your friend is having a problem, we listen, we help. This is what we do. And obviously there's the energy healing as well that comes part of the package. Laying hands on chakras, crystal healing, connecting with nature, flowers and so forth. So it is a wide package about healing. Healing, it comes in many forms. So, this is what we're called here to do. But however great or small, as long as we are here making an impact on Mother Earth, to humanity, to help others to understand it's okay. Yes, it's part of the plan of the evolution of this planet. The planet is evolving now. So if you look outside in the communities that are around us, communities are waking up. Communities have come together to make a difference. People whom you would not even know have come to make a difference. Here in the UK, we have Captain Tom Moore, and a lot of you may have known Captain Tom Moore. Just turned 100, and he walks up and down his garden path countless times to raise money, and he set himself a very minimal target, and his efforts became a nationwide effort. He has made a difference, and there is another old elderly lady who's also made a difference. So people within the communities are now coming out, and they are making a difference, and it's these souls that are the light workers. These souls are coming out to make a difference, so yes, we do have light workers that are behind the scenes, but each and every soul, it can ignite their light. It's not restricted. So, we are not here to be at the face of judgment. We're here to be at the face of love. We're here to be at the face of unity and community cohesion. And this is basically what this is about. So where we have had what is deemed a dark night of the soul for the planet, or for many, has also been a blessing, and a blessing in disguise, because people are not going to be the same again. This is a changing front of humanity itself. So, and sometimes when situations like this happen and we come together in love, in harmony, in peace, in equality, sharing our experiences, our efforts and so forth, this is what this is about. This is what this is about. So basically the corona is the northern star. It is the northern star. I also want to connect, and I've done this before and I'm going now, and I want to connect with the etheric pyramid of the Arctic. And as I connected with want to connect with the pyramid in the Arctic, I want to connect with the balancing of the poles. It is about bringing balance to the poles of the planetary grid, and this is where we're at the moment. We are balancing the poles, and also balancing consciousness, because what has actually happened right now is there is a polarity that is at play. And if you look at North, and I'm going to speak about the Americas in a little bit, But I want to talk a little bit now. I'm going to go and connect with the pyramid in the Arctic region, because what is actually happening in the Arctic region? Basically, a lot is happening. We are unfolding the Hyperborean energy, which is the actual root race and civilization that took place before Lemuria. And again, this is what this is about. And at the epicenter of the etheric pyramid, which I'm connecting to, is the Sophia energy. The Sophia energy that creates the ever-expanding body of knowledge, because we are now going into an epicenter of knowledge and wisdom, and we are creating a higher consciousness matrix field at this time. And I hate to use the word matrix because it brings me into a lower frequency, but everything forms part of a field of energy. So let's say field of energy. And basically this is about the soul's experience. Okay, so this is also a lot is happening. But as we connect with the poles, I want to connect a little bit with the north and south. Again, I've been sharing a lot of this over my videos. Right throughout my videos, it's about the poles of north and south. There is metaphors happening with America as well. So basically what we look at as we connect more deeply is the creative force of nature. And this is what's actually happening, because we're going up into the north, understanding the metaphysics and the laws of nature. And we are also understanding what is occurring and reoccurring in realities. So we have not been here before, and many souls will have experienced certain events in other lifetimes. So, you know, pandemics, and that's nothing new to us. We have pandemics. I mean, look at the Black Death, the Spanish flu, and so forth. I'm not going to go into the scientific or medical side. I'm purely speaking metaphoric and esoteric. So basically, as I connect with the Sophia energy is about unfolding the knowledge and the wisdom, but also to help souls to understand that all is connected. Everything is connected within this field. Okay, within this field of understanding. So we go into a higher light, into a higher field. You know, we know everything is connected. Everything has a plan, and so forth. So as we also work, as we connect also with central source, we understand, you know, that the creative energy gives life to all, but also working with the pyramid energy. These pyramids that I connect with, and I'm connecting with now, is the ninth pyramid. The ninth pyramid on the planet. It's the etheric pyramid that I work with, and it's a portal up in the Arctic region. So basically what these pyramids have done from the ancient point of view, we've planted etheric pyramids. We've also created physical structures at just after the fall of Atlantis. We created physical structures, so we went into Yucatan with Bosnia, China, Egypt, and so forth. We created physical ones as well. So we have the physical, we have the etheric, and these have these are also conduits of electromagnetic forces and fields that also help and assist with the flow of the cosmic energies that are coming through. There's a lot of stuff, you know, we also connect with numbers. Numbers are a frequency. Geometry is a frequency in itself. So all this is tied in with pyramid energy. So, okay, so basically, we are going back to how soul is created, or how souls make their plans. So what they're looking at is the creation, you know, the creative forces. So basically, what Spirit are telling me is they're telling me go back to your plans, go back to what you have planned for your lifetime, you know, go back to the soul councils, you know, and your soul groups where you made the plans for incarnation. There's a lot of people out there that are not happy with family structures, and this is what I was saying last night in my video last night. People are not happy with their family members because they're working at a 5D and their family members are working at a lower, they're in 3D. But the thing is, we are, you know, we are on the earth, and whilst we connect with high frequency energies, we still have to maintain life on the earth as well. So it's about creating balance. So these keys are coming in, you know, balance, creative forces, and so forth. Creative forces is also about endings and beginnings. There's a lot about endings and beginnings that's coming through into play. And we are also coming towards an end of a collapse. We are going into a collapse of a false matrix field. What is actually happening, and I want to point this to you, this has come through from Spirit, is to watch for New Age that are putting things out there into the field in terms of prophecy. And prophecy with regards to what is happening, what is going to be happening over the days and weeks, because these are going to be the pointers of where there is going to be a collapse. I shared about David Wilcock. He actually foretold that the whole of the earth would be without their phones and their internets for 3 days in the run-up to Easter. That never happened. I actually said it's not going to happen. Spirit told me that, you know, to tell them that they're going to have their phones and their internets. So, you know, what it is, there's a misinterpretation of a lot of energies that is unfolding, and manifesting this kind of information into the physical, you know, can be dangerous if you're actually saying to the wider field, you know, you're going to be without your internets and your phones at the point where people going into lockdown. Okay, and people need their external communications. So, you know, having the phone, having the internet from Spirit World was a blessing in disguise, because it was helping to build the community cohesion. We need to build unity, not to separate. And this is basically what this is about. Are we going to be working in the field of separation, or are we going to be in the field of unifying? Because Spirit wants to unify souls, not separate souls, and certainly not at a time where, you know, where people are actually going, you know, are at their most vulnerable. So there's a lot of information that's out there, that's, you know, where they think they are shedding light on certain information. But it's also creating a separation, it's also creating a fear, and this information is also disinformation. So it's a case of them lacking the understanding of the energy, lacking the understanding because purely they're not connecting up to spirit source. They are researching, researching what's going on around them and not actually connecting up. There is a much wider field out there, and spirits are there. They want to unify, they want to bless community cohesion, they want to bring communities together to act, they want to bring nations together to be as one, as whole, because it is about the unifying mind, body and spirit that comes in at earth level as well as individual human level. So it's the unifying of the Trinity, mind, body and spirit. This is what we need to be working with and striving upon. So we have got to be mindful of what is actually happening, to also detach from political agendas. This is basically the guidance. It's very strong guidance, but to connect with your spirit, to connect with your being, to connect with your guides and your angels, and to work from the heart space. That is a fundament. So there's a lot coming through. So basically there is souls that are working with timelines, and a lot of people will say I'm shifting timelines or stuff like that. Timelines can be defined as energy. It could be defined as frequency. It could be defined as working within your Akashic field, because everything within your energy structure is your Akashic field. So there's that as well. So there is a lot of timeline. People work with timeline. But when you come into 5D, you become aware of timeless. Okay? So, you know, and everything is as it should be. So there's a lot of information that is out there, and we are having to kind of understand this information, but also being mindful that everything is energy. Everything is structured by energy. So basically the ninth pyramid is the halls of knowledge. It is the halls of knowledge. It is also known, it can also you can also call it, and this is so interesting, because I've also known this pyramid to be the pyramid of meltdown. It does. It has. It's got a very unique. If you even go and Google the ninth pyramid of Thoth, it's the ninth pyramid of Thoth. They call it the meltdown, and it's the Arctic, and it's up the north. So, and I thought, right, okay, meltdown. This is Corona. This is Corona energy. Meltdown. Again, is another metaphoric. Because again, you know, knowledge can be great. You know, if you are using that knowledge with wisdom, you're fine. If you are using the knowledge with intention to create harm, that's not good. If you are using the knowledge to create a disinformation, that's not good. So, you know, knowledge is there. But again, you have to ask yourself, is there truth in that knowledge? Is there truth? Because everybody has their own set of knowledge. Knowledge comes from different areas. It comes from walks of life. It comes from experience. It comes from perception, mind perception. So basically a lot of the knowledge comes here, you know, what is absorbed by the mind concept. Are you using your left or are you using your right? Again, there's a lot of metaphors. Okay. They say the left is they say the left is logic and the right is spirit. Again, that is also reversed when you look at the masculine and feminine. This is interesting because at the moment the feminine is working spirit, whereas the masculine is working logic, mind. And that is also within the concepts of Ra and Isis. Ra works with the mind, Isis works spirit. So there is a concept that comes in there as well. So I'm going into the United States of America. Yesterday I shared a message from Horus that was 2016, and this was just before the US elections. And I was just yesterday. I'm like, is that before the US elections? Yes, it was. And he shared a message about walls. Now, walls create walls. We can create walls of consciousness. We can create walls in our emotional state. We can create physical walls. We can create spiritual walls and stuff like that. So what do walls do? What is a symbol of a wall? It separates. Okay, so basically there is a metaphor behind the wall, and yes, there has been remnants of a wall along that border for a long time, but what has actually happened is that President Trump has come in and he wants to build the wall higher, as he said that recently. So there is metaphors with the wall. Okay, and walls create separation consciousness. It separates. So there's a lot of emphasis with the corona, the north, and we look at the United States. There's a metaphor unfolding with the United States at the moment. They seem to be at the epicenter of the actual virus right now. Even though we don't look at figures, if you quantify the population of the United States, which is over 300 million, if you quantify that with per capita of head, they can be quite relatively low. But for someone who sees things in black and white, you're looking at country status, they have the highest death rates of coronavirus. So, it seems to be quite alarming what's actually happening with the United States at the moment. There's also within the United States a polarized field that needs to be addressed. There is a polarized field. There's an awful lot happening within the United States at this time. A lot of chaos. I'm speaking with family, I speak with friends, I do that every week. I'm getting mixed feelings from people, even when I see friends on Facebook, mixed feelings. So there is a lot happening with the United States, which is an epicenter at the moment. Interesting, it's north. Okay, and again, it is a metaphor. Down south, we also have a lot of energy taking place, which is positive, beautiful energy. Certainly we're creating a vortex of energy working with Yucatan at the moment, and Lake Titicaca. Lake Titicaca is actually the sacral chakra of the earth, where it creates the balance. So basically the energy down there is very much the feminine epicenter of the earth and the planet at the moment. We are working down south. So if you look at North and South America, see how this is fitting into the grander plan of things and how this is all manifesting, because there is a shift and a metaphor happening. So basically what we are looking at is the feminine south the feminine south left and the masculine north right. So basically there is another manifestation taking place there as well, in terms of a metaphor. Again, we need to work with water and fire. And when I want to connect with the water codes, I want to connect with the ice. And a lot of things come through, it's ice. And it's the ice energy that I really want to connect with. Because it's ice and fire, water and fire. Ice and water are the same. So that took me up again. When I connected with the water codes this morning, I connected with ice, and that took me straight into the Arctic region, took me straight into the Etheric pyramid, and it's ninth pyramid. And then we have Corona that has 8 stars. 9. When I say it's a ninth pyramid, this is very interesting. 9 is about completion. Okay. We also get COVID-19. Why has it got 19? 1 means beginnings, and 9 is end. Right. Okay. Again, I was connecting with 1 and 9. This is interesting. Also, there is situation with regards to Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, and Venus, all being in retrograde. Now, there was a shift. There was a shift of Saturn going into Aquarius at solstice. At the equinox time. The equinox also was a marker when people were going into lockdown. Okay, so we were told to go inside. This is interesting because Saturn shifts from Capricorn into Aquarius. We are now in the Aquarian age. Aquarius is the water bearer, but it also works with air. And air, okay, is another element, and the element of knowledge and communication. So that is quite, that is something. Now, Saturn is also the law of karma, and karma is also, I've also kept hearing the words, there is a karmic retribution happening at this time. Karmic retribution. And I'm like, whoa, that sounds very powerful. So what is karmic retribution? Karmic retribution is where we are being called to address our karmic deeds and our accounts, whether it be in this now or past life stuff that's coming up to the surface. So there's that's coming through. And also Pluto is in retrograde. That's going to be in retrograde for a few months. We're also have had Venus in Gemini. Venus is very much the love energy, but the retrograde in Gemini, Gemini twins, again is about the yin and yang, divine order and divine chaos. Polarity in itself is a polarity sign. So it's like the Jekyll and Hyde sign. So basically, that could be a positive to create the balance that we need at this time, because we need that energy of balance. Venetian energy is always about the divine love. So having that, working with the Gemini energy is very positive, because we need that. So you can see where we are at with the cosmic energies. So also Jupiter's in retrograde. Jupiter's very much the powerful energy, which is the father energy. Jupiter, it's very much the father feel, which is also the masculine energy. So the masculine is also having to work upon the karmic field right now. So there again, masculine goes to north. So you can see how this is coming in to play. There also, as I spoke with regards to Saturn, I did an awful lot of work with the Saturn energy last year, and the Saturn energy I got caught. I got called. This is interesting because I was connecting with the four rings of fire of Saturn, and again this I was connecting with four elements of society itself, and I was going into French connection now, French connection when I did my live last year, connecting with the French connection that I was working with. Certainly at the time of King Louis and Marie Antoinette, I shared an awful lot of information from that timeline. And, you know, I was sharing a lot of stuff from that timeline where, because Horus incarnated as Louis the 16th. So yes, last year I shared about the rings of fire, but the four rings and four pillars, and the four 2020 we're in the year of 2020, which is to do with the karmic balancing. I was also connecting with four areas of society that had four assemblies that I'm fully aware because I was in that lifetime. I'm bringing that energy down, bringing the Akashic down, which is my part of my Akashic records. Yes, it's the Marie Antoinette and King Louis of France. So basically, within that timeline, there were four assemblies that condemned Louis and Marie Antoinette. The four pillars of society, which are the Jews, the Freemasons, the Catholics, and society itself. And it is these areas that is coming to the forefront now. It's coming to the forefront. But what does it have? Why does it come to the forefront? It has to be shifted. It has to be healed, not judged. Healed, released. We are not here to judge. We have to release that energy. We have to heal that energy. So that came to the forefront to me last year. I shared that information on video. Four rings 2020, stuff that's coming to the pot now. You know, things are coming through. We are not here to cast a judgment. We are not here to turn around and say they are mass arrests. We are going to be arresting these guys for crimes against humanity. We're here to shift. We're here to heal. We're here to actually say, right, God bless you. You know, you've helped me to evolve to this point. I don't need that. Let go. This is what we're here to do as light workers. So there's a lot of stuff that's coming to the forefront. So technically, I'm just being asked now, Elaine, do you know when we will free Saturn from its rings? Please and thank you. That's a very interesting question. Saturn is free itself. Saturn's free. Planets are free. Planets are defined. Planet is not. Saturn is not in prison. This is part of the mind concept. Because the rings of fire, because basically this is what it is, it's the rings of fire. The rings of fire is about transmutation. If you look at Saturn as it is, planet is and the karmic law of cause and effect. We work in that energy. We're mastering the laws of cause and effect. We are actually transmuting. So it is actually the rings of fire that circle around the circle around Saturn as it stands. It's a metaphor that planet works on the basis of transmutation. So, you know, it works as a metaphor. So, you know, when we are working from cosmic energy, we are working, you know, we understand the metaphors that these planets are all representing. So if you actually look at Saturn, it's not actually imprisoned itself. It is working purely as a metaphor. So we have the rings of fire going around the Saturn. Saturn basically acts as a transmuter of energy, because if we look at the codes of the fire energy, we are working in healing, we're working release, we're working at transmutation. In order for those things to happen as part of the healing process, the transmutation always starts first. So we work upon the areas that we, you know, that's working within our energy fields. So we work on transmuting, then we go into transforming and transcending. So, you know, that planet at this time is working metaphorically. So yes, all planets are free. It's how humans perceive that piece of energy. So it's a perception. Yes, it looks like, you know, Saturn is encased with a ring of fire. It feels like it's a prison, but it's not a prison. It's not. It goes beyond that. I hope that has answered your question, because it's metaphoric. So yes, Saturn is free. It's working as a metaphor. I hope this has kind of helped a little bit right now, understanding some stuff. I can go on and on and on, but there is a lot of stuff that's coming into play right now, and I'm going to leave it at there for now, because I came live last night, came live today, so, you know, nuggets for thoughts, you know, and as I say, there is a lot of stuff that's happening at this time. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to say enjoy your Sunday. God bless you all. Have the opportunity to connect with nature at this time. This is what's coming through from spirit world. To connect with the earth and connect through with nature. And take that time to empower yourself at this time, because we all here as a team trying to do what we can to help to uplift this planet. God bless you all. Enjoy your Sunday. Thank you.